Audio test. Excellent. Cool. Very new stream setup. I've not got my chroma key perfect, so occasionally I burst into leprosy for a minute. This is my old favourite game, Dungeon Keeper 1. I should have got whiskey before I started. I used to play this game an enormous amount. This is one of those games that I have I feel like for many years, this playthrough will be a test of it. I felt like I was like a human strategy guide for this game. I remember it's the first game I got as well where back when video games came in boxes like bigger than shoe boxes. Let me just sort that game volume out. I think we're okay. Let me know, Juan, if the game is too loud over me. PC games came in like shoebox size boxes, and I just opened the corner and I just saw the box was black and the Bullfrog logo was red, and I was like, Dungeon Keeper. It starts with some tutorial levels. Also, if you have any children and you are unfortunate to have watched Peppa Pig, it's a little bit loud. So just fix that.
Smile is a disgusting land of good
That should
humor
fix
and
it.
polite frivolity.
If you've ever had to watch Peppa Pig, the advisor who you just heard speak is voiced by Richard Ridings, aka Daddy Pig. Someone else got my box also. Great, yeah. I bloody love Dungeon Keeper. So I'm feeling like I'm gonna play through all of it. We're gonna do just sort the volume out. Volume is a little... Oh my god, I've used a little bit of the audio from this in my Curse of Strahd campaign as well. I feel like that did not change the volume. I'm going to turn the... let's turn the stream volume down a little bit more. That's probably enough. And then I'll do my headset. There we go. So the whole concept of this game is you are an evil overlord. You are the bad guy. Oh, I'm so used to moving around with WASD. Good grief. So I used to play through this game like every year. Let me just wipe out my old play. Let's start with a new one. We have to build out a subterranean lair, and heroes will come and try and defeat us. The first few levels are kind of painfully slow. It's gonna be difficult for me not to just like autopilot it. I really need to find out if there's a way to mod this so that you can mouse wheel scroll, because it's weird not being able to mouse wheel scroll. So this is a 1994 game. So this is kind of like an RTS, but with a difference of like your creatures mostly have free will. Let's try and... I mean, that sound just isn't going off at all, is it? Clearly that sound menu is entirely ignored. Yeah, so it's kind of an RTS, but you don't directly control your units. You don't say where they go. They all have their own personalities, their own needs. So you kind of just build rooms to get their interest, keep them happy. The first few levels are very, very basic, so we will go through those quite quickly. The larger levels find you competing against heroes or their enemy dungeon keepers. I am literally playing the Lich building a dungeon. Yeah, you're right. This is the dungeon heart, kind of our phylactery. If that is destroyed, game over. So that is quite literally the heart of our entire base. So there's all sorts of things about room efficiency, managing the relationships between different types of creatures. Some don't get on. Like, you can attract giant flies to your dungeon. You can also attract giant spiders. Unsurprisingly, they will not get on. You can also slap your creatures to kind of make them a bit quicker, but that, unsurprisingly, also upsets them. So yeah, I used to wake up every like Saturday morning, run downstairs, get on my computer at like 7 a.m. and pretty much play this until like 10 p.m. until my parents forcibly dragged me off the computer. And I always remember, because I was young, so 1994, the year my brother was born, so the Horned Reaper always ended up having his own little set of buildings, his set of rooms. So 1994, so I would have been 7 years old. So I wasn't, the best gamer because I was 7 years old. And I lent the game to my friend and his dad completed it. I remember being really upset that I'd never been able to complete it. And this guy, who didn't even know Dungeon Keeper like I did, had completed it because I was, as I say, a literal child. But there's an expansion pack. I think I'll try and play through the whole game. There's also an expansion pack. Playing it streamed will be different because quite often I end up playing this in a way where you think, okay, and now I'm just going to AFK for like 6 hours because everything's set up and running. I'll get exponentially strong and I'll come back and just like steamroll completing this level later. Don't really feel like you can do that when you're streaming. So I'm going to effectively be kind of playing this, not hard mode, but rush mode. Yeah, the Horned Reaper was so... I found like he was so hard to take care of that I never really bothered summoning one. Like I find a level 10 mistress much more useful. The other cool thing about this game is, yes, there's a whole RTS element of it, but there's also, using a magic spell, I can possess one of my creatures, and then the game becomes a first-person game, where every creature has their own set of abilities you can use. You can do most of what makes them a creature. You can explore your dungeon first-person. And a lot of the creatures have different like visuals as well. Like if I saw that I had a giant fly. Where is my giant fly? That has fly vision instead. Much different. Can fly around. Yeah, it was a really, really frustrating game as a child. So I must have done this level thousands of times. All I'm doing here is just rushing through the requirements of a level, get a few creatures, the heroes start to dig towards my tunnel, and when I was younger, I would just like... I'd fortify my dungeon here and just like drag it out a little bit and just keep the enemies looking around for me. You'll see shortly, because the levels are all quite scripted, we're going to reach a point where white marks will appear on the map. That's like the human heroes who've heard about our dungeon and are starting to tunnel towards us. We will sort them out. But while I wait for that to happen, let me just quickly check. Cool, okay. Oh, I can do that Alt-Enter. I'm ashamed of how late it took me to learn about how to Alt-Enter. I think heroes won't start to come until my entire dungeon is fortified, perhaps. That shouldn't take too long to do. So this is a portal, by which means creatures enter your dungeon. What creatures come into your dungeon depending on what rooms you've built. Because it's level, and other conditions, because it's level 1, you hardly have any rooms at all. There are 20 levels in the main campaign, and then I think 15 levels in the expansion pack, which I'll go through as well. Some of the expansion pack ones are really gimmicky. Like, you don't always get to build up your dungeon in this game. Sometimes, like, the plot or whatever at the level will be that you've like inherited a half-built dungeon, or resources are scarce, so you might complete a whole level like possessing a creature instead. They just try to make it a bit more interesting as you're playing. For me, I felt the game starts to get fun around level 4. The first few levels are a bit too handhold, but then again, maybe they were just as handholdy as they needed to be back in 1994. I love how I set all this stream overlay up today. Now now that I'm not running my main Curse of Strahd, well, my main D&D campaign, now Curse of Strahd is finished, I thought I'd do a bit of gaming in my evenings. Now I'm not working 2 jobs as well. I downloaded Halo Infinite, I bought and downloaded Resi 2 Remake, and instead, here I am, once again, playing Dungeon Keeper. Because that is all I do, apparently. So I'm rushing this level now. The heroes are starting to dig towards me. I'm just going to meet them, because let's get past these first few levels as quickly as possible. So I'm going to be digging out to the heroes, so I'm picking up my units. I currently have 3 giant flies and 4 giant beetles in my dungeon. Imps, the diggers, they won't fight. They're little cowardly things. So I've just dropped all my creatures, and it's level 1, so everything's very, very low. Yeah, I know, it's so weird. Like, I was looking for... someone was asking me about plans this week. I said, well, I can't do Tuesday. Because, oh, I can do Tuesday. My Curse of Strahd campaign is over. The hell? So strange. Also, look, my Snorlax mug is kind of affected by the chroma key. I'm drinking a translucent mug. Okay, so we killed our first hero. Creatures all have their own like personal preferences as well, like flies and another type of creature later will always try to explore. Which sounds useful, but it just means we're constantly getting into fights and getting killed. There we go, let's get him killed. You can see that creature's about to get killed, so we've got the hatchery, which is where they get food and replenish. You can also slap a chicken, and it explodes in a shower of blood. On levels that involve heroes and not other dungeon keepers, so sometimes you have both, you symbolise and seal your victory by killing the Lord of the Land, who's like the king of the level. Yeah, see my back to my ghost mug. My hand's behind it and it hasn't picked it up, so it hasn't completely chroma keyed it, but also my hand. I need better lighting. I was talking before to Luca, I need a light on that side as well. I might look at buying. It's my birthday in a few days. So I'll see if I'm lucky enough to get some birthday money, and if so, I might get a couple of those Elgato lights. So here's a Lord of the Land. Let's just mob him, and that's the end of level 1. Straight on to level 2. I'll try and get to level 4 tonight. Level 4 is where the game really gets good, I think. But then it feels like it stops being a tutorial and starts being an actual decent quality game. So you can see when a creature comes into your dungeon, it goes to the lair, this specified room, and creates a lair. So these are beetle lairs here. But as creatures are getting killed by this guy, because he's doing all right in a 5v1, he's killed my giant fly. He'll probably kill that beetle before he gets killed. Yeah. So if he killed all these creatures, heroes are programmed to start making their way to like your dungeon heart. Here we go, he's about to die. Here's a very dramatic, drawn out death animation. Look how long, he's still going. There we go. Dropped a nice bit of gold. Your work here is done. Now there is no one to prevent you from obliterating this nauseating little realm and expanding your empire into a neighbouring land. Nice. Okay. End of level. Gives you a load of stats. And now we see on the world map that level's been destroyed. What I like is, as the game goes on, and you take over more and more of it, the sky becomes more apocalyptic and everything like that. It's very cool. So let's start level 2. Yeah, the first levels are quick and are very tedious. I'm just trying to blast through. I was tempted just to start at level 4, but then I didn't want... I'm probably just going to stick these on my YouTube channel with VODs because it's what I normally do, if you want to see the game. I don't want people to be like my Curse of Strahd. I get so many comments like on my Curse of Strahd videos because it started at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got so many comments because it started being streamed at like episode 97. or 98, I can't remember. And everyone's like, oh, amazing, but where are the first 98 episodes? It's like, I'm sorry, they don't exist. So I'm just carving out the rooms to be built in. You have things that you need to be careful. Like there are very often 4, 5. There's room efficiency factors, which I'm not really respecting with this. These rooms are not all the ideal shape. But you have like caverns that can have like heroes or traps, where like, you know, pitfalls, boulders. There's all sorts of things that makes the game even more unpleasant that you can fall into. But I'm just trying to get it done quickly. I remember, for example, that there is a treasure room, like a one that's been lost to time and is unclaimed, hidden down there. So if I claim that, I don't have to build one, and I get some extra gold. The early levels love to throw this information. You know, they just telling you that when your imps have no other jobs to do, they go around fortifying your walls, and basically enemies can't mine through fortified walls. Most of it, there's one spell that can do it. That's like very expensive late game. So normally, so this here, just plain dirt, can be dug through. This fortified wall, enemies can't dig through. So that can be like a huge impediment to how you're playing. Like you can't get past. But it also means you know that your dungeon is secure in that area. Slapping BM so he works quicker. Yeah, Dungeon Keeper 2, unfortunately, was not a very good game, in my opinion. Dungeon Keeper 2 had a very, very different engine. It had a really different aesthetic and feel. And I just didn't find it fun. It was a shame. I really tried it. I was very excited for it when it came out. But yeah, it was not all that. I think after they made this, everybody left Bullfrog, who'd been involved, and started Lionhead Studios, which was Black and White. Lifting that gold up, because if I put it as a pile, it drops down easier later. Again, just trying to really maximize efficiency so I can just get on with this level and on to the next one. So yeah, when I'm looking, yeah, Dungeon Keeper. I'm presuming Wesker, you're talking about Dungeon Keeper 2. It was very weird. Something about it just never sat right with me. I tried it a few times. Just, I don't know. It was too different. Sequels should be upgrades. It just felt like an entirely different studio were doing an entirely different take on a similar game. I was sadly not a fan. So training room is where creatures train and get experience, and that increases their level, which increases their stats, gives them increased abilities, makes them larger, which I always find, which has no mechanical benefit at all. And in one or two cases gets them to kind of evolve Pokemon style, but very, very got a different creature this time, got a demon spawn. You still play 2, do you? Okay. I need to check out that War for the Overworld, which by all accounts was the spiritual successor. But never played it. Because creatures travel as well, sometimes you spend ages waiting for something to get done. There we go, bro, put the money down now. Good. Which means I can drop them back here. Get work to carry on. Once I get all this gold done, I'll make a load of imps. I'll get them to finish the rest off. I'll make them more. Yeah, I feel like War for the Overworld always goes very cheap on Steam. Remind me, Wesker. I know, obviously, who Wesker is, but I feel like I've seen you on my streams before. Are you someone from Curse of Strahd, or did you just find from the Discord, or did you just find this through Dungeon Keeper? I was surprised how many people popped up so quickly, so I'm not sure if you're someone I know from Curse of Strahd, just with a different name. Could get this cleared out. Yeah, absolutely. Just saying before, I decided I'm going to do a couple of hours gaming tonight. I'm going to stream it. So I set up, got a new overlay. I went and downloaded Halo Infinite. It's late here, so a chill game to relax. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't know where I recognised your name from, man. But yeah, I downloaded Halo Infinite, free to play. I bought the Resi 2 and 3 remakes, so they were bundled together really cheaply. I thought, yeah, I'm going to stream a nice game. And then, like the nostalgia slut I am, found myself once again launching 1994 Bullfrog Classic Dungeon Keeper. Waiting for those heroes to spawn. We don't need to train beetles anymore. We don't even need beetles in our dungeon anymore. Now we have the chance to get demon spawn. It is quite a chill game, isn't it, Wesker? I know, like the dark and the torture gets people upset, but I find that it's less stressful than a normal RTS because you kind of say what you want doing. So there's no kind of micro to manage, or it's absolutely a lie. When you start to like abuse how like, the possession works in combat sometimes, it absolutely becomes as stressful. I've like horrendously cheesed some levels by abusing possession. Come on, wait for these heroes to start spawning. In fact, I feel like the hero dungeon on this level, getting mixed up between level 2 and 3, I feel like the heroes have a dungeon down here. There's water surrounding our base on this level, I'm fairly certain. If it was a river that runs just down here and up on the other side, and there's a little human area here where there's portals of respawning. So if I dig to it, we can just kind of preempt it all. Expect to hear you've tunneled into a UIT. There we go. Okay, so humans spawn. When the humans spawn, we'll just come walking straight in, hopefully. I tried to get away with not. I'm just writing some sweet leather clad. Yeah, level 6. Level 6 is the first time you get a mistress. Level 6 were 2 unclaimed mistresses in the centre of the map. We'll get to level 4 tonight. I feel like we'll complete level 4 this evening. And I'll probably call it a night after that. Oh, there's more beetles walking in. You're not fucking wanting beetles. We've got demon spawn now. No good. Which level was your favourite? Shit, man. Offensive Mods. No. In fact, I only installed HOTS. Only today when it installed. What was my favourite level? Oh. Honestly, there are so many good levels in this. I really like level 9, which is Moonbrush Wood. That's the first snow level. and you're against like four enemy wizards. It's a humans level. I just really like that. I liked Buffy Oak, which I think was level 14, where you have some huge castle like built out already, and gems, and the 2 enemy keepers have allied against you. I feel like it was only like 2 or 3. Once you get to level 4, I think it was only 2 or 3 bad levels in the whole game. The ones that are bad, I quite often feel like are bad because of how they were programmed. There's a whole thing where there's Keeper FX, isn't there? Which is like a whole separate. That's right. This candle's kind of fading through me. There we go. I need to fix that chroma key. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's a mod called Keeper FX, which is like a finished version of the game. That's something I want to try at some point. I'm thinking I might try and make this like a skeleton, like an undead run through, where you just sort of maximise on skeletons as much as you can. Oh, look, have these spiders and beetles and flies. See if they can kill a single dwarf while the demon spawn keep training up. Oh, a beetle. Nice. Let's just drop you into this shit heap. Oh yeah, so thieves try not to fight, but just try to like leg it for treasure. This is why he's not sticking around and engaging. Yeah, he won't make it through that. So you saw then he wasn't even trying to get to the dungeon heart, he was just trying to get to the treasure room. Level 90, yes. Was that level called Missile? I feel like that was called Missile, yeah, and you start in the ruin of an old dungeon, don't you? And I think the enemy keeper has like an endlessly spawning set of skeletons in that dungeon. Yeah, that's a really, really good level. Yeah, I think it was Missile. Or Wishvale. No, Wishvale's level 8. Yeah, Confidence Missile. Yeah, really, really cool level. I liked a lot of the deeper dungeons levels, but they were sometimes like a bit too niche. They like relied on such like a specific thing happening. Another level I liked that I can't remember the name of, I don't think, was you, 2 enemy keepers, and there was like a castle and water in the middle that had like a room full of traps. And there were like samurai just wandering the water, and if you dug the wrong way, it was like you have failed because you are like level 2, and here are 4 level 10 samurai like coming into your base. Bloody flies. Yeah, I was saying before when I started, that Dungeon Keeper 1 is probably the game where I'm a human strategy guide. I used to play like 50 hours a week, Dungeon Keeper, from like ages 7 to 33. Yeah, this was my yeah, this is my on the weekend, just wake up, play it all day. This game was the first game I ever snuck down to like turn my computer back on when Dad was on nights and Mum was crept down, fired it all up like right, have him. And a beetle because why not? Oh good, we're straight into the Lord of the Land. That's good. Let's see if I can get any of these demons spawned to level 4 before he turns up. Strip poker on the Atari. So once this guy once this guy turns up, stops walking around in circles. Bloody AI. Come on, Lord of the Land. Do you want, let me just bait him. Sometimes they walk around till they see a threat. So if I at least go here. There we go. Now he'll start following me. There we go. This should be over quickly now. Let's go on to the next level. Next level, I remember, has human base down bottom left, and there's an unclaimed training room with 2 skeletons on the left, which we will jump into, we'll dig to straight away. Because then they keep training all level, because skeletons are just crazy industrious. Like, skeletons fight with bile demons, and bile demons were cool, you know, and were like the iconic, one of the iconic creatures, I felt like. But skeletons like train by themselves, and then are really good in a like in a workshop afterwards, and they learn lightning at level 10. So having like a dungeon full of skeleton shock troopers is just like an answer for most things. This is the first level that we get the library as well, if I remember rightly. I say if I remember rightly, I'm being coy. Of course I remember rightly. This is the first level we get a library. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hate it when it isn't flush. Doesn't it give you a flush 25? Very irritating. I'm deliberately not building a treasure room, because when you have a treasure room, things run off. The imps run off to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 to put their treasure in the treasure room, and it takes longer. So at the moment, until I actually have a need, like, as in I'm not going to claim the portal, I won't have anything that needs gold doing, I'm just going to set this up, let imps start mining, hollow out everything I'll need. So training room, lair, treasure room, hatchery, and a library. Warlocks are really slow, so let's put it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you only get the accelerate creature spell. I used, so in my Curse of Strahd campaign, whenever you click a spell in this game, you might not be able to hear it with the music balance being so loud. Don't know why the audio, leading the feast to try and come back if you're, yeah, definitely Wesker. Or all your demons spawn are gone, and they have these level 10 dragons. I don't know why the game is ignoring me on the volume control, but you can't really hear when you click on a spell in the spell book. They all have like special Latin names, and I used those Latin names for a lot of the spells in my Curse of Strahd campaign. Esmeralda and her verbal components were like all using things from this. This is my favourite piece of music as well from this game. I used to... This is when you were on a level where this was the soundtrack, you were like, we're in for an industrious level. Cool. I'm probably gonna destroy it and build one here just so it's quicker. Earth closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Really, all I need to do is get... Right, I'm going to change things again here. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. Yeah, back to it tomorrow. Aye, says Wesker. How very dare you?
You cannot afford to train creatures. You need to build a lair for your creatures.
Shows how bad people's OCD can be with infection. Okay. Yeah, oh god. Yeah, absolutely. I like 5x5, 7x7. All about for my rooms. I was trying to avoid having to make this any bigger, but I feel like it's just causing problems. Thank you, Wesker. Okay, right. So they're training him there, which means I can now just sell this for a little bit more. Because look, see, he's wasted all that time walking up there. If I sell this off. There we go. Back to the training room. There we go. Get this treasure room built out. Done. Couple more imps. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. I normally just do a couple of like Dungeons and Dragons campaigns streamed a week. It's very rare I do any actual gaming. It's something I'm trying to get more into. Never seen 1994 classic, Bullfrog Classic Dan. Such a game, such a game. Game of Kings. I was a very, very big fan back in the day. I'm just kicking my flies up the dungeon. Flies, beetles, no time for them. Oh, hello, Kelly. Hogs of War is getting another remaster. Amazing. I mean, to me, Hogs of War was just like another take on Worms, which I really like classic Worms before they... I don't know if it was a studio change or something, but Worms underwent like a visual overhaul and became very cartoony looking. I like, but just leaving one corner block undone. Thanks a lot. There we go. But yeah, I enjoyed Hogs of War. Hey, Kelly, guess how I'm playing this game? I'm waiting one day for a certain person to realise a game they've never touched has like 500 hours played on their GOG account. I'll never tell. So when heroes start appearing, which I don't imagine will happen until we've researched a spell, humans will start to tunnel in from here. Brutal. How is, well, I won't say the name on stream, but how is your child, Kelly? I have gone quite garbage. Yeah, I need to sort out the chroma key. I alternate between Gorbachev and like Back to the Future, like just fading out. I start to become all translucent. My mug is particularly transparent. Mr. Gorbachev, turn down this wall. There we go, so I've done all the research I can. Let's get our warlocks, just try and get them to level 2 before it all starts happening with the heroes. Excellent, I'm very glad to hear it. Do you know what, and to hell, I know it isn't good for efficiency, but I might just... What a lazy, lazy child she is. Key Kelly. I will not key Kelly. That is not kind. Dan, I had to dispose of the keyboard you got me. Inexplicably, left shift just stopped working. I did everything. I popped it all out. I cleaned it once again. Dan is gore bag, Kelly. Ellie Shaman. It just stopped working. I had it all tested, looked to see if it was a pads underneath the key. And it was never spilt, it was looked after, but just somehow it was dead. Very unusual. But yeah, it served me very well. It was a much appreciated gift. Same for my mouse. My mouse died not too long ago, and it was the first time I've bought a mouse that hasn't been dictated by the need for World of Warcraft raiding. But I'm happy with my choices. I went for a MX Master 3 for Logitech MX Master 3 for the mouse, which is very nice, and then MX Keys for the keyboard, which is very, very lightweight. Both of them are very nice. Very different to get a keyboard or a mouse that isn't just full of countless like macro buttons, and these will help you raiding like features. Oh, a beetle? No, we have no time for beetles anymore. Get out. So we should have the heroes coming any minute now. Yeah, I imagine a cat isn't great for that. And you eat at your computer. Shocking stuff, Dan. Shocking stuff. Who would have thought that... In fact, are you still... Did you find... I feel like I saw a tweet a while ago that you were once again looking for a raid guild. Are you raiding again now? Are you going through that Shadowlands endgame? Oh, no, the last patch isn't out yet, is it? Berserif Mortis. No, it's not out. It's not. We don't have the expansion ends. We haven't got confirmation that she's clearly gonna just copy paste Kerrigan's storyline. But are you in a raid guild then? Are you getting that sweet, sweet content? 3 cats. He's typing a long answer. This is the longest explanation of why he's not raiding that I'm about to read. No, it's not raiding. Okay, not found a guild we're happy with since TBG. I don't remember what guild you were in called TBG. So, TBG. Remind me what TBG is, sorry. Yeah, I can't even think what. I'm sure you've told me as and when you raided, but I don't remember what TBG is. Is that the one that had the fella from who you said lived on the Wirral but worked over in Liverpool in a Tesco or something? Isn't it still in the second tier now, Kelly? I feel like from what I'm reading, obviously I've actually reactivated, but I'm just messing around on alts, low levels. I've got no interest in raiding. But I still, I've always checked like MMO champ, and it just seems like this pause. By the way, is definitely Dan looking up what the Scarlet Crusade was called. There we go, Scarlet Crusade. I knew it. I like how I got you there. yeah, it's crazy how slow the content seems to be coming. Like, I get there's obviously the pandemic, and then there's all the internal stuff at the moment, which I would imagine is having an effect on production speed and stuff. But it seems they're trying to draw shit out tremendously. To the point where I wonder if, like, are they holding off on stuff because they know, obviously, after this, whatever they bring out in this patch, which I think I saw has gone into like a stable, like I think it's seen a release candidate now. I can't remember. Something about like the 9.2. I saw something that was either 9.2 being marked as release or a blue post saying, "Hey, don't expect more content than this in 9.2." Once they do that, other than a housekeeping patch, that's it till the next expansion, which does not seem like a lot of content for one expansion. But hey, what do I know? I am playing it. Maybe there's loads of depth and context to it that I don't get.
Creatures are under attack. Your creatures are attacking the enemy.
Oh, really? Like, all I really see in terms of content is Gorebag's Twitter and MMO Champ, and Gorebag is you're always very keen to be like, but hey, give Blizzard a chance. I'm going to come at this from the other perspective.
Your minions are winning a battle.
So this level's nearly done. We're just waiting for the Lord of Land to turn up, and then we can start on the first good. Once 9.2 launches in Q1, yeah, I would imagine so. But obviously not gonna, with BlizzCon not happening. And didn't they say they're not doing the BlizzCon line? Was that meant to happen in? I feel like I read that BlizzCon line was meant to happen in January, I think, but got cancelled. Well, I think in the Gamescom. I'm so out the loop. But with that not happening, they're obviously not going to wait until next November to announce. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's going to have to be Q1. We can't make it through a whole quarter. I mean, I imagine, but then again, clearly by this point now, the current patch won't launch till the new year, and then they'll do that thing they love doing now, which is the patch is out, but the raid content is gated for arbitrary reasons, in favour of like a weekly quest build-up or something like that. So I imagine we'll probably have content in there, but get the raid out in like what, late Feb. So I think Q2 they'll announce it, thinking about it. And near the end of Q2, I think we'll get what the expansion is. What do you think it'll be, Dan? Do you think it'll be readable based on this expansion, or do you think it'll just be like a Pandaria style, complete out of left field? I've seen a lot of stuff about once again, everyone's always talking about a Cataclysm reset. I can't imagine Blizzard doing that in what feels like the life cycle of the game at this point. I've seen loads of people mentioning Dragon Isles, but I don't know if like the plot of Shadowlands has remotely lent itself towards that being a possibility. This is my Serena simulator. This is the game where I just imagine you and we're on stream, so I'll say your partner being asleep, and I just stand over your bed while you're sleeping, like that. Yeah, this is a 1994 game, Serena, that I am just obsessed with. I must have pumped dozens of... No, okay, but I must have pumped thousands of hours into this. I almost said dozens of thousands of hours. That's probably not accurate. But thousands of hours, certainly. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get this level done. Stop in a coward moment. Hey, well, I will be in America in March. Possibly twice, or possibly for one longer visit. I'm going over for personal reasons that you are aware of, but there's also possibly a work thing going on. So I might make a prolonged visit and do both. Although it is for GaryCon, which I think, if I remember rightly, is in like the arse end of nowhere. But hey, yeah, I'll definitely come visit. Okay, this is where I feel like the game starts to get actually... The levels are more indicative of what the game's actually going to be like. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I will. I'll definitely come over. It would be cool to hang out with my buddies. Just gonna neglect you for the... Oh, is she? Cool. Are you and your partner gonna get married there? That's what I want to know, Serena. Yeah, pretty much. That is literally all I know about Gary Con Harrison. See, this is a level that really annoys me with how it's all laid out. Serena, not London. Too many Londoners. Come do it here. Because then the third person in your throuple won't have to travel to London. You may be interested to learn, Serena, or this is a conversation that will probably take over to Discord DMs later. I've had conversations recently about what sort of wedding I'd be interested in having. Just thought I'd share that information with you. Divorce shovel. What's wrong with London, bruv? It's full of Londoners. I'm a northerner. I don't like London and London doesn't like me. See, Londoners will call me a filthy scouser. Serena, just spinning ideas. Just spinning ideas out there. Just a bit of talking. Nothing. There ain't no ring on my finger. Wesker's from the north as well. There we go. We've got Shovel outnumbered. Good old Toon. Oh, you're from your north, or you're actually from the Toon? Serena is vibrating away on her couch in misplaced shock.
You must build a treasure wheel to store gold.
Oh no. Is Shovel him? Is Shovel Louis Theroux? I'll ban this guy off my channel.
Game saved.
I bet it is, isn't it? I'm going to go into like a just 20-minute... No. Do you know what? I'm not going to have a... Louis is here, I thought so. I described you as a poor man's Louis Theroux the other day. He's here in stereo. I've got to be honest, I did not expect to maintain like 4 viewers at 1 o'clock in the morning with a game that is... Jesus Christ, this game is almost 30 years old now. This game is 27 years old. Shit the bed. Behold the ravages of age. That's fucking disgusting. Not good. Finally made it to a stream. I'm getting old. Dan, I'm just in a relationship with the people of the world. I am aware of the effect I have on men, women, and on non-binary friends. And I just have a lot of love to give, and the world seems to have a lot of love for me. I can't finish it. I am Daniel. I am. What of it? Do you want to fight about it? I'll fight you. You're damn right, Wesker. It is probably the worst aging game I've ever seen, though. Other than Deus Ex 1, which is a great game, but if you haven't played it before and you try to pick it up now, it's not playable. And I say that with all love for that game, but games obviously have a point in their life expectancy, a point where playability starts to rely so much on nostalgia that without the nostalgia, it's like, nope, this is fucking disgusting. Like, I'm playing this game at the moment. I'm having to move around with the arrow keys. My mouse wheel does nothing because mice didn't have wheels when this game came out. It's tricky. Trying to sell that to somebody. I remember this was the first game where there were like programmable hotkeys to like pin locations and bounce back to them. To the point where StarCraft then patched it in to their game based on this, which obviously was like a, hey, if you're really rich and you can afford the internet, you can use your dial-up modem when you connect to battle.net to download a small, like, 6 kilobyte patch, which adds this exciting new feature to the game. So this level, I've mined out all the gold, but this is also the first level that contains gems. Gems are slower to mine but never get destroyed, so they're like an infinite source of money. So they become like a hugely valuable resource. People don't use dial-up modems anymore. I'm sure some hipster somewhere does. Just so they can go... I know before I left my old job, I was, well, about a year ago, because we were working from home, I was looking through the like the stock cupboard, and we had like old dial-up modems in there, a bit like Dratex and all sorts. Really, really bad. But yeah, I remember our dial-up modem. There was no sneaking on the internet because your modem loudly did a dial tone and called through to the server and connected. So no one in the world could sneak down and do like a stealth wank at night, because you'd wake your whole house up trying to get your porn that would load incrementally from the top down. So I feel like once we finish this level, I will call it. So this is a bit different. This time, I'm not seeing the problem. He likes to take it slow. The difference of this level is that the humans aren't going to start mining towards us. We have to navigate through a human dungeon. Isn't that part of the thrill? The thrill of having to dial up. Yeah, the difference with this level is that we have to like take it to the enemy and navigate through our enemy dungeon, a human dungeon. But the problem they give you as well is that you have gems. So there's a bit of a flaw really, in that because there's gems, there's never any threat, there's never any rush. I can just take my time, which I'll try not to do on this playthrough because it's not very exciting for you whatsoever. But I'm currently just spamming creating more and more imps so that I've got a constant chain going of things mining. But I may as well open my dungeon up now by connecting to the portal. Start to get stuff built. There's like so many ways of just cheesing this game. Like on a level with other dungeon keepers, this portal's flashing all the colours because no one's claimed it yet. You can drop imps onto unclaimed soil. So if you hold your imp and you wait at like the enemy portal at the start of the level, you can drop your imp onto it, and then like they start attacking you, but you can possess it, and like if you know where there's a high level human area, you can just speed dig out to it. So at the start of the level, you just expose the enemy to like forces that will kill their dungeon and just delete them from the game. So I really try to not do things like that because it's so cheap. It's a really fucking cheap thing to do. Hello, bandit. But sometimes, like when you try to play it in a rush, and there's levels where you know you can do it. Oh god, I'm going all Gorbachev again. I'm going to fix that chroma key for the next one. Yeah, it becomes so tempting to do. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and avoid any cheese in this playthrough. I'm going to do every level properly how it's meant to be done. And I'm going to favour going with skeletons on any level that gives me the option to, which isn't every. To get a skeleton, you have to have a humanoid enemy in your prison, starve to death. And when they do so, they will be reborn as a skeleton. So this now really is a point where you would typically just leave this game to bloody run. because I've got infinite resources. The dungeon is open. Creatures will start to join. Things will get researched. Things will get... Creatures will train up. But I kind of want to be a bit more involved than that. Trolls are pretty good. Trolls are very good in the workshop. So workshop's a new room I've got this level. The workshop lets you produce doors and traps. Doors are lockable, so I can sort of set areas to stop my creatures wandering off to. Also slows down enemies. Traps have various effects, like just blowing up underfoot and causing problems and doing damage. Again, one of the traps is super cheesable. The boulder trap, which just creates a large boulder that rolls in the direction it's triggered, bounces off walls and things like that, and just like insta kills any enemy it hits. And it can go. It's got health. It can go for a certain number of enemies, but like strategic use, you can just delete an enemy's entire like pool of creatures in seconds. So it is like, and you can set the trap off yourself by slapping it. So there's so much potential again there for it just being horrendously abusive. Like you can bypass like entire levels effectively by just going, oh, I knew when to do that. There we go. I'm going to turn my gem mining off just so the creatures go and the imps all go and focus on other things, like fortifying my dungeon, which makes the rooms more efficient. I'm also just going to quickly tab out for 1 second. Let's see who the hell these 8 viewers are. Cool, okay. I don't know a few of these names, but hello, welcome. I hope you're excited by 28-year-old games with volume levels that will not be turned down. Like I've set, if you're quite new. Tell Lewis we should order rolled ice cream. What is rolled ice cream? Listen, Lewis. Your partner is very dear to me. Whatever they want, you should provide. Or say to them, you're a grown-ass person, order your own rolled ice cream. It's a curse. Rolled ice cream is a curse. A frogurt is also cursed. Look at it this way, Lewis. If you don't buy them ice cream and show them a good time, when I come up there, I will. I'll just turn up with buckets of ice cream. Is rolled ice cream the thing you see, like on Instagram all the time, where there's like a big metal sheet and they keep like using a fucking scourer to get it off and flip it, and I think they eventually put it into a crepe, I think. I feel like that might be rolled ice cream. I literally buy ice cream all the time. But is it rolled? Is it rolled though, Lewis? Yeah, I think I have seen it. I've never had that. I'm from England, the land of Mr. Whippy ice cream. I actually live next to a place that, like I'm sure many places in the UK like to say, says it's famous for like the UK's best ice cream. Parkgate, which is a lot of history to it if you're ever both visiting. An old Roman port, and it looks like you can walk over to Wales because there's so much like the river is so silted that it becomes like a marsh, like grassland. Bird's eye Swiss roll. It's become like marsh grassland. It's home to like all these rare bird species, and 6 or 7 people die every year because we look at it and go, yeah, we can walk to Wales across there, and they reach a point where it's like, oh no, it's a marsh, I'm dead. And 2 times a year, don't know why it's 2 times a year, the tide comes in, like up to the breakers. You can't go down, grief and Mr. Whippy. He's another, yeah. When the ice cream man came a knocking, I was always up. I normally went for a screwball. Very, very impoverished childhood, clearly. But yeah, a screwball's always what I went for when the ice cream man came round. Which was a Mr. Whippy in a plastic cone. But the very bottom of the plastic cone was like a ball of the worst chewing gum ever. So bad. Working class childhood, clearly. Natural selection of the Welsh. No, so people trying to get 2 whales, Dan. The Welsh, unfortunately, are all fine in there. Natural selection of the Welsh is when they go into Chester after 10 PM, because although it doesn't actually happen because it's superseded by modern laws, it is still written in the law that it is legal to kill a Welshman inside the city walls of Chester after 10 PM with a crossbow. My man wouldn't let me because of a gum, so it's a 99 or a rocket lolly. Fucking hell. When it comes to a non-Mr. Whippy ice cream, though, what's the best? It's got to be a feast for me. If I'm feeling particularly exotic, if it's a height of summer and I'm feeling a bit, I'll go for a Solero. But otherwise, I'm a feast or a Magnum man. A nice white chocolate Magnum. Natural selection of a Scouse, yeah. The job centre, Dan, is natural selection of a Scouse. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. What's the capacity on our training room currently? Ooh, very nearly full. I need a bigger training room. Let's put one in here then. Let's get him, and let's get him. Our 2 little training imps. Let's get them in there. Me now a Magnum. As a kid, you can't beat the rocks. I don't really fit. I know what rocket lollies are. I obviously had one, but I'd never say it was something that I was like out picking. I'm just gonna Google rocket. I'm not tabbing out this again. I'm just googling rocket lolly. I'm fairly certain which one rocket lollies are. Rocket lolly, yeah, of course. I hate the not Calippos, but just the corner shop, the long transparent plastic ones. It always cut your tongue or like the inside of your lip on. They were like one step away from being out of fucking Angela's ashes. Those ice lollies. But you're always cola flavoured. No, can't be doing with it. Right, let's get you in here researching. Let's get you in here building stuff. Let's start getting some movement in this level. Okay, we've got bridges research now because there's lava in this level, but I don't want to go digging out here. Here from a pre-magnet tank, give me a good old 69. Dan, you dirty... Oh, sorry. Sorry, 99. Filthy bastard. What made a 99 more than just a Mr. Whippy? Was it the flake? Was a 99 just a Mr. Whippy with a flake? And maybe sauce? Or was there something else to it? I can't remember. Flake, yeah, okay. Was it a 99 because you were a 99p? No, I feel like they must have been around at a time where a pound was an insane amount for an ice cream. Smurflord's pre-decimalization, I think. So, you'll be able to tell us how much. When was decimalization? 70. Was it 71? Decimalization?
A new spell has been researched.
I don't remember. I do not recall.
Game saved.
The normal Whippy was around 69p. Nice. You're showing your age, Jen Wesker.
Game saved.
Recalling back to the days of the whip. $34. So old, 34. That's ancient. Can't believe that. A grand old age of 34. He's 70. Hey, do you know what? I'm glad I'm surprised I was that close, to be honest. Yeah, I'm being very sarcastic, Wesker. I'm 34 in like a week. So I'm just being a dickhead. Shock. Big shock that I'm being a dickhead. I keep getting rid of these beetles and becoming because you can only have like a set. You've got what's called a creature pool, like a maximum number of creatures you can have enter your dungeon via the portal. You can always get more through other means in any level, and beetles do not factor into my grand designs. That's another reason, like skeleton playthroughs, because you can just keep capturing enemy forces and turning them all, and like skeletons being created ignores like the character limit on a level. So yeah, when we finish this level, we'll be calling it a night on tonight's stream. But unfortunately, there's no prison on this one, so I can't go steal any humans. But I think the next level, level 5, is when we first get our prison. From that point, it's going to be converting enemies to skeletons wherever possible. You can do it to any humanoid enemy that can't heal itself. The problem is, some levels there's no gems. Sometimes like you can't wait that long because you'll run out of gold. If you're new to the stream tonight and you want to see like when I go live in future or talk about the shite I play, I do have a Discord server which I think is in the panels, or if it's not, my link tree is, and it's on my link tree. I should probably just put a command in here to actually give you a link. That's a bad move by me. But yeah, I announce on there whenever I go live or what games I'm going to be playing. See you in the DMs, yeah, baby. Night, Serena. Night, Louis. I don't care. I mean, I know what his name actually is, but he's Louis now. Forevermore. My army of imps with no gems to mine. The imps are all getting rowdy as. No one should be not working now. Another beetle. Fuck off, beetle. So yeah, this is the point where if I were playing this normally, like offline, not streamed, I would just go and make dinner now, because nothing bad can happen. The enemy doesn't build towards you on this level. I've got unlimited supplies of gold, so my dungeon's not going to fall apart. You know, if you don't pay your creatures, because payday roll, it isn't just things cost gold. Your creatures have a salary, so it always builds up to payday. And when payday happens, like it's about to soon, the creatures all stop what they're doing, make their way to the treasure room, and take their salary. If I find a creature, like this warlock, if I query him, we can see all his stats, but we can see things like what his salary is. Obviously, the higher level, and certain a beetle has a lower salary than, say, a dragon. Shocking stuff, I know. Can I get this guy trade? So if you don't have gold, when it comes to payday, your creatures can't get paid, they get annoyed, they stop work, and sometimes they destroy rooms, and eventually they just leave your dungeon back up the portal. But that can't happen because I've got gems, so my gold's never going to run out. My creatures are all training away. They train and train until they hit level 10. Then they go and do their other jobs, and I could just come back in like 4 or 5 hours and just like curb stomp the whole dungeon. But I'm going to try and avoid doing that. Instead, let's have a look. I have a level 4 warlock. I feel like that's a sufficiently high level to start killing things here. And again, unfortunately, no prison. So it isn't like I can really do very much. Got a couple of new spells, got some traps. I'm going to set a couple of traps down here, just in case any heroes do manage to make it over the bridge and start heading over towards my dungeon. But yeah, let's start heading for the dungeon. I remember, because again, I'm a bit of a sado for having this game memorised. I know there's a secret power over here, what's called a dungeon secret, which is effectively like a power-up. And there's a few different types. They do different things, from like revealing all the fog of war to letting you steal an enemy's creature at random. Oh, here it is. But there's one on this level, which will, well, there's a few on this level, but the one that's hidden here will increase the level of all my creatures by 1. So I don't want to use it too early, because like most games, later levels, it takes longer to like level up. So I'll save that till later on and pop it at the end. So he's now transport back to my library. It'll live in my library. Yeah, so again, I will just wait for it a bit now. Let things continue training up. Although, to be honest, I think I can probably do it now. I think I can just steamroll the level now. Let's see. I'm just going to use that. I'm going to increase my creature's level as well. I'm just going to try and rush the dungeon, because we've done this so many times. The real content comes from the later levels, so let's just let's try and rush through. So yeah, it's not the biggest dungeon here. A lot of humans to fight. So yeah, I think the next level is the first one that introduces the concept of enemy dungeon keepers. They have different AI, they build dungeons the same as you, they attract creatures, they do all the same things. So it's a very, very different experience fighting them compared to just working your way through hero dungeons, because they can be building up and actively coming for you. And you compete for resources, things like, they're after gold as well. They want to get the best creatures. They want space, which is, again, a very big deal. Let's just get down here. We're very nearly at the end of this level now. This is symmetrical. Both of these head up to the hero dungeon. For some reason on this, occasionally you get a hero level which has a dungeon heart. I'm not really sure why, because we're not evil keepers. But this is one of those ones where we need to kill all the humans. Hey baby, want to kill all humans? And then destroy the dungeon heart. But we're very close to having that done now by this point. Got another steel hero, got a steel hero and another increased level. So yeah, we can get this. We can have this level quite locked down in terms of a hero level. So I'll just steal a hero. Don't care what we got, an archer. Yep, fair enough. And another increased level. So now, yeah, there's no way, but there's no way we fail on this level now. This spell I'm using, Call to Arms, like any creature who's initially caught in its area effect continues following it. So you can effectively use this to set waypoints and lead, because you can't drop your creatures on enemy or neutral territory. We can drop imps on neutral territory. You can effectively use this to like just lead your enemies, lead your creatures into enemy territory. You see, some creatures are faster than others. So I'm just using this to, instead of I could claim all of this land and slowly work my way towards it. You see, my money's going down. The spell costs 1 gold per second. So that's going down rapidly. But I also have all these boys. All my imps mine and back at home. So here's the enemy dungeon. Let's just get on it, end the level quickly. As you approach with Dungeon Heart, a load of enemies are going to come into a portal. There we go. Here is the last fight, the last encounter of this dungeon. And this is the first level that has, I believe, a transfer creature special in a hidden area up here, which lets you choose one of your creatures to send it forward to the next level. So I will probably train up a warlock once I end the stream, just so I can send a warlock forward to the next level and research things quicker. Just save a bit of time. The warlocks are all catching up at last. So Lord of Land's dead. Enemy Dungeon Heart getting destroyed. Yeah, see, as it takes damage, it's diminishing down and shrinking. But yeah, once this dies, the level's 1. I will, after stream finishes, just keep the warlocks training so that I can get one to max level and transfer it through, so the next level's a bit easier, a bit quicker. More just in terms of getting things researched quickly, because research is a pain in the arse. And then on the next stream, we'll start with level 5 of our warlock chump. So these are the warlocks, spellcasters, very good at research. But yeah, you'll see the destruction of a dungeon heart now. As that blows up, it does a bit of a cool lighting effect. It blows up, tells you you've won. With the enemy dungeon heart in ruins, you've trounced the once proud opposition. Rule your new domain with terror and loathing for a laugh. So yeah, there we go. That is our first look at Dungeon Keeper 1. Thank you very much for staying here and watching so late. Hope you found the first 4 levels interesting. Tiny Ian's fun fact, the Dungeon Keeper forum on Game of Accused is where we first crossed paths many, many years ago. Does that mean this is, I won't say your real name, Was it Neural? I think Neural was your handle. If you're who you think you are, I know your real name, but I won't say it. But yeah, many, many years later, I'm still playing this game. Yeah, nice. Hello. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Follow if you want to hear when I'm doing it again. I'll try and get online later this week in the evening. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. It was busier than I thought it was. And I'll catch you next time. See you later.